lots and lots of balls. I've not played with balls in a long time. I mean, I could have, I could still, but I've just not played with balls in such a long time. I don't know why. There's something about balls that just... No, I can't hold it. I know where I want to go with it, but I can't hold it, man. God damn. Balls. I know. Oh, Jesus. You see, I used to play with balls for years. I played with them all the time. All the bloody time I'd play with balls all day long. Just constantly playing with them, kicking them, touching them, feeling them, rubbing them. You know, the things you do with balls. And over the time, I've grown old. I've grown despondent of them. I don't know why, but I've just grown a bit meh on balls. No, I honestly don't believe I could go on any longer. Right, so, FIFA. I used to play quite a bit of it. I would say with this accent, but then again, that's just a bloody walking tour of the aisles, really. The point is, this kind of thing that's in my voice, this bit, there's a tiny bit of Scotland in there, and you might notice it, you might not, and something bollocks and such and so on. But in Scotland, in the UK really, and well, anywhere but America, there's this thing that people like. It includes balls and kicking and feet, and people tend to call it a thing to do with feet and balls and such, and there's a federation, internationally, something association that's corrupt and all that such, that deals with all of that, kind of, well, and ignores the human rights abuses of Qatar and such and so on, but nonetheless, they do the things with the feet and the balls and the such and so on, and some people really like it. Some people really, really like it. Almost as if it's like their national religion. Brazil and Spain and Germany, England, and a bit of Scotland, and basically anywhere that isn't America. Well, I say isn't America. Anywhere that isn't Canada or the US. Anywhere else, there's just this love of balls. I don't know why. They have this appreciation for balls. I think I've overstretched that joke quite a bit. A bit like your... No, I can't make that joke about your granddad's sack full of balls. He'd... How much FIFA did you play, young one? Well, I used to play quite a bit of it, to the point where I still have the PlayStation 1 disc for FIFA 2001. Yes, and I was playing it right up until about 2010, when I just got a bit bored of it. And I know some people are going, oh, but how can you get bored? It's something precision and a game of subtlety and finesse and... Well, yes, I'm not bored by watching, 22 men run around a field going, man on, and I don't care. I really don't care. I'd sit there at games and I'd just be bored to death. The best thing about the whole bloody game was the halftime pie, and that was a bit ugh. Sometimes the smell of Bovril, Jesus Christ. America, this is something that you'll love to miss out on. Bovril, it's minging. It is makes you want to bulk. It's fucking awful. It really is. It's dreadful. Think of the worst smell that you can think of and then boil that to death. It's that. It is that, and it's bloody awful. But anyway, FIFA, it's just kicking balls, isn't it? It's just kicking balls about the place. Kicking balls into nets. Running into nets. Hugging men. Running around men. Kicking men in the balls. Balls all the time. Kicking balls. And it's oddly popular. And the thing about that, or the thing about saying, oh, it's oddly popular, is the fact that I still enjoy a good kickabout sometimes. And that's why I'm actually here talking about, well, not really talking about FIFA, was it 19? I don't know, they're just blurs of men in their 20s or something. I don't understand any of it. Literally any of it. It's all confusing right now because I don't know the names. Who are you and what are you? You know what? I can honestly say I know more names from the Women's World Cup last year, from 2019, than I do from, the men's bit. Admittedly, I didn't watch the Men's World Cup because I don't care. I genuinely don't care. But the Women's World Cup, Jesus Christ, yes. And that's not just me going, oh yeah, women. It's me going, Jesus Christ, it's actually interesting. They're not on the floor going, oh, my nail. Oh, yeah, me fucking oh, you touched me. No, there's none of that. It's oddly brilliant. They aren't pissing about. They aren't doing any of this nonsense of diving to the ground every time there's someone within a mile. No, it's proper. It's playing the bloody game. And I love it. Admittedly, it isn't Scotland, because Scotland, as you're probably seeing, can get humped easily. And possibly 21-0 if you give them a chance. The point I'm trying to make is the fact that all of this FIFA nonsense, it's over-dramatised. Oh, look, kicking balls and kicking and such and so on. And, well, that leads me on to the biggest addition from my era of the FIFA games, which was basically anything in the 2000s, including FIFA Street, which is the best because you can kick it off the walls and all that Rocket League business, and it was really nice. FIFA Street 2, brilliant, love it. Ace, magical, love it. But the point is, the balls and the kicking is over-dramatised in a story mode. I know! It's almost as if EA had to do something instead of, create gambling mechanics and loot boxes and such and so on. So, of course, there's the journey. The second chapter in the 3-chapter thing, I think. Am I getting the numbers right? Because I think they do 2 chapters with the guy that is meant to be the lead, and then they switch to the sister or half sister and the friend, and the one that is meant to be the lead, he's just away doing stuff, and then he comes back for the one that was last year, I think, and it was all a bit I don't know. I don't play the games yearly anymore. I haven't played since, well, 2010 on the PlayStation 2. And for the most part, yeah, it's practically the same. Oh yeah, it's shinier. Oh yeah, it's a bit nicer. There's a bit more presentation and a bit more fluff to it. And there's, of course, the women who were let out the kitchen, apparently, by men. Bastards. And stuff. It's all fine. It's mostly the same game, but it's fine. But there's the addition of the story mode, the journey, as it was, I guess. And it's over-dramatized rubbish. I could say something about Pele, I could say something about E3 many years ago, I could say something about being bored to death, and then I repeat that over and over again until I die of boredom, but I don't think that would be productive. Basically, it's a bit of, oh look, emotions and slightly humorous stereotypes of English people liking fish and chips. It's being sponsored by fish and chips. And it's all fine. It's all fine if you just like a bit of the FIFA and its surrounding guff. But if you're like me and you go, sports, I hate sports, then for the most part you're just going, yeah, but why am I here? Why am I doing any of this? And that's I guess the problem with the journey. It's all based on the lowest common denominator, I guess, would be the phrase around it. It's just, it skims the water. It doesn't try to go deep. It doesn't try to fly above it. It doesn't try to do anything special. It just skims it like a rock. And eventually, that rock will just plummet because, well, it's done everything that it can do. It's done all the over-dramatized rubbish of, oh, look, an old man remembering his glory days. Oh! And, oh, look, a woman learning the footballs and the such and the so on. And it's fine. It's all a bit nice. I like the bit with Alex Morgan. I like the bits there, mostly because I liked the Women's World Cup, because, of course, I liked it. I thought that was more interesting than any other game that I've seen in my entire life, and I've seen many. I used to be a season ticket holder. Yes. Believe it or not, I hate sports. I hate this one in particular, mostly because the season tickets and the such, and sitting behind the manager as he swore at every player to get up the fucking field, as it were. And I just don't care. I just don't care for the sport as it is. But the Women's World Cup made me go, oh yeah, this is actually quite interesting, when they're actually playing the fucking game instead of diving like an Italian football player. But no, that's not what the basic FIFA fan likes. That's not what a normal FIFA fan thinks. They think football, and that's it. Okay, yes, that is me being obscene and rude. I believe is the word. But I don't care, because these games just slop out every year and they're all a bit meh. It's like Call of Duty. Why do we have that every bloody year? Honestly, it's just a bit more NRA nonsense. That's all it is. It's just woo guns, and that's it. And this is just woo balls, which is funny because of course the typical FIFA fan is a straight white man who really likes his masculinity, and any time that it's questioned, he's a bit high-strung about it. Fun stuff, but yes, most men that like FIFA like balls. They just do. They like touching them, feeling them, groping them, kicking them, fondling them, rubbing them gently in the middle of the night. Right, anyway, yes. Why FIFA 19 and not the new one? Because, well, it wasn't £3 now, was it? That's the thing about FIFA, right? They'll start out in this $60, $70 special editions, all this nonsense, and then it gets to about a year, maybe 2 years later, hell, even 3, 4 years later, and they just drop off like Christmas cake in January. It's amazing, the bloody price of the things. They go from $60 to 12, 3, 30 pence. 30 pence! I'm pretty sure you could find a PS2 game of FIFA for about 10p at this point. They just drop off like a stone. It's brilliant. If you don't actually like giving FIFA and EA money, or all too much money, then yeah, go to a charity shop, go to somewhere that sells second-hand games, go to a car boot sale, go to one of them. You'll find FIFA games galore. Yeah, maybe not the newest one, maybe it will be a year or two out, but if you just want to kick a ball about, if you just like balls sometimes instead of all the time, just having balls sometimes in your face instead of, dangling there in front of you all the bloody time, you can have that. It's fine. I like just leaving it a while and then dipping back into a yearly release. I've done that with F1, I've done that with Madden, I've done that with, well, basically everything, including Call of Duty. Even WWE. They used to be crap and then I dropped off for a bit. They came back to being good and then suddenly, yeah, back in. I'm back in for a year or two. Drop off again when they start doing the microtransaction guff around about WWE 2K18, was it? Yes. Basically 16, 17 ace, brilliant games. Then just all of it guff, including 2K Battlegrounds, as you know from this channel. Nonetheless, point is the ball kicking and kicking of balls and balls, I think I've broken the word balls for you for the next 6 months. I'm glad it's not coming up to Christmas and you'll be groping and feeling baubles. How do you pronounce that word with this fucked accent? I don't know.